Hey guys, my name is Jeremy Alcendrados. You might know me for my amazing work on my Roland V-160 Macro Pack, which I put a video out about 6 months ago. And the response to that video was so good, but I got a lot of people asking me and sending me messages asking me how to install it. So I thought I'd make a quick video just showing you how to install it. So what I've done is I have wiped my Roland V-160 and I'm going to show you from the link in the description of my video how to install it. So let's do it now. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is after you see the video, you want to go down to the description and you'll see a Google Drive link. What you want to do is click that link and it will open up a few files. You've got the companion file, the V-160 files, and a README. Let's download all of those right now. And those files are now downloaded. Let's go ahead and open them up in the download, which will unzip them. Here we have the companion files. We have all versions. Let's go to companion. Let's launch the GUI. Just go through this. This is the first time I'm doing this. Just go through this. You want to have it as 4x8 for the Stream Deck XL. You don't need a password. Apply and finish. Okay, so let's over here you'll see an import and export button. Let's click that. And what you want to do is import the configuration. So you want to go into the downloads, the companion file, and you'll see the version that your computer wants to use highlighted. Let's open that. Okay, so you want to hit import. You just want to do import preserving unselected. Let's go. It's going to import it. And there you go. You'll now see, if I bring this up, you'll now see, oops, wrong way. And if you now connect up your Stream Deck XL to the same machine which is running Companion, you and go to page 7, you will see the first of the pages, which then will let you adjust it. Okay, so we've got the companion profile loaded on our machine and our Stream Deck is working and we're seeing the buttons working. What you want to do now is actually load the Macro Pack onto your Roland V-160. So what we're going to need for that is a USB stick. What you want to do there is format your USB in the Roland to make sure it is going to work with your files. Heads up, you may have some difficulty, so make sure you try this out. If this doesn't work, try it with a different USB. This can be a little bit annoying, but find a USB that works with it and you'll be off to the races. Okay, we want to load our USB stick into our machine. Our computer, you should see it pop up in a moment. There it is, Jez's USB. You want to open that up, and now we want to go to the other file. We want to open up the actual V-160 files. You've got the actual full backup of my V-160. You've got the macro file if you just want the macros, and you've got the preset memory files. So it's up to you what you want. I'm going to load the full file onto it, but let's put these both on anyway. Okay, we now want to eject that. Give it a moment. And we now set the eject on the computer. Okay, here we have our precious data. Okay, here is our USB with our macro profile on it and Roland settings. What you want to do is plug in the USB to the USB memory port on the front of the V-160. You then want to go into the menu and go down to USB memory, which is number 25. And you want to restore all settings, and there you go. You can see the file is detected on the USB. You want to select that and you want to load it. Give it a moment to do its thing. The screen will go black. Just stand by. Here it comes. And there we go. Okay, we have our Roland profile loaded into my unit. Now what we want to do now is set up the network on the Roland. What you want to go is hit the menu button and you want to go down to number 23, the LAN control. Here you want to set up your IP address, your subnet and gateway. But you also really importantly want to set a password for your Roland. Otherwise Companion will not be able to control it. So let's do that now. And I do a very simple password. I just do 0, 0, 0, 0 and save that. There you go. What you want to do now is go back to Companion. Let's go back to it. Okay, now that you're back in Companion, you want to go to Connections where you'll see the V160 connection. You want to click on it. You want to scroll down. This is where you'll enter your IP address and you'll enter your password. Here is the 40 password we entered. And then you want to hit save. And now that our network is now set up, we should be able to push the buttons on the Stream Deck and we have our sources moving. Awesome. Very cool. If they are not working, what I recommend you do is just do a quick restart of Companion on your computer and then try it again. If it isn't working, reach out to me and we can sort it out. Say you've already got a pre-existing V160 profile and say you just want to load the macros onto your machine. Let me show you how to do that. Let's go into the menu again and let's go up to 15 macro. What you want to do is load from the USB memory. And there you'll see the V160 macro profile, which you'll be able to load, super easy, and then your macros will work. I had a few comments on the last video just asking me to explain Companion and how the macro pack talks to Companion, and just to show you how the macro pack is set up in Companion, so I'll do that. So for those who don't know what Companion is a tool by Bitfocus Companion which allows you to connect multiple pieces of production equipment and use devices such as the Stream Deck services to control your production equipment. So let me show you how my macro pack works with Companion. Okay, here we are on the connections page. You can see our one connection right now is the Roland V-160. If I look up Roland in here, you can see a bunch of other video switches, which is pretty cool. Shout out to Joseph Adams for his amazing work on some of these modules to get them working. If you guys want another module added, reach out to him. He is amazing to work with. But let's have a look how my profile is set up. Let's go to buttons. Now, when you first boot up on your Stream Deck, you may see a blank page on page 1. That is okay. What you want to use is the down arrow to navigate to page 7, which is the start of the macro pack. So here we are in the main page of the macro pack, the wonderful home page, which is how you get to everything inside of it. So if we pick my favorite macro, for example, 2-box press left, what it is doing is it is on the V160 triggering macro 11, and then on the Stream Deck it is just changing the page when you push the button to go to the page for 2-box press left, which is on page 18. So let's go to that. Here we have page 18, which has all the other types of macros you can get to from this one page. So we can go to 1 full, we can go to 4 full, and we can go to 3-box press. There are more you probably could do, but with the amount of macros the Roland V-160 has, this is as many as I could make with the full functionality that I wanted. Another question I got quite a lot was, Jeremy, you seem to use a lot of SDI inputs on your V160. I use HDMI. Is there any way I can use my HDMI sources in this macro pack? The answer to that is yes, of course. Let me show you how you can change that. Okay, in Companion, we can go to page 23, the Roland picture-in-picture sources. We can click on any of these. Each row represents one of the picture-in-pictures. You are limited to 7 sources for each pip, just due to the size of the Stream Deck XL, but they can be anything. You can change this to whatever source you want. So what you want to do is click one, and in the action, you'll see the V160 picture-in-picture and key set source. What you can do in here is click this and change it to whatever you want, and then you can change the label up here to whatever you want. So if you want to make it HDMI 1, what you need to do is change that to HDMI 1. Simple as that, but there's one more step I need to show you. So here we are again in the Roland V160 remote application on my iPad. What you want to go is navigate to the macro page, which if you remember from my macro video, I said this is the best way to build and edit your macros. Yes, you can change the pips that are live in BitFocus Companion via the pip sources page. But the issue is the pip you cut to on the pip sources page will not change what the pip will cut to when you fill the frame. So what you have to do is go to one of the 1, 2, 3, 4 full macros in the macro pack. So let me show you how you actually change what that'll cut to. So Mercury Streaming asked me a wonderful question though about this exact issue. He said that there is no 3 full macro. That is absolutely correct. Because of the way that the 3 full macros come together, a default 3 full would not have worked. So there are multiple macros dedicated for getting 3 full, such as macro 65, 67, 74, 76, 79, 84, 87 and 89. Those are the macros you want to use for 3 full, whereas you want to use the easier to see 1 full, 2 full and 4 fulls for the others. 3 full is just a little bit more complicated, and this was the best solution I could come up with. So let's just use 1 full right for example. You want to go into that macro and you can see program take cuts. In that macro is where you want to select what you want your source to cut to, whether it's HDMI or SDI. That is where you want it to cut. So I hope that makes sense of how you change the actual macro source. All you want to do is go into your macro, and if you see a program take cut referring to the macro that you want to cut from, that is where you change to the source. Hope that makes sense. Well, I hope that answers all your questions you had about the Roland V-160HD Macro Pack. If you have more questions, please comment them below, and I'll happily eventually get to doing another one of these videos. But in the meantime, enjoy the Macro Pack and have some fun with your productions.